Action.
Just using I've got an old door here. I might as well show the door. I've got an old door that's from the 1910s to 1920s. And a lot of people paint these, but what I'm going to do is show you how to repair them. So I've got a bodge there and a bodge here, and a couple of bodges at the top. So I'm going to show you how to repair them. So I'm using PVA. That's PVA, and I've done some sanding on the edges. What I've done is I've taken off the edges of the door after it's been stripped. And then what I'm doing is using the sawdust to make some filler. So if you buy filler in the store, it's going to be the wrong colour every single time. So I've got some shavings here that have come off the sander, put them in the filler, and then what I do is mix it up so it goes into a nice gooey, horrible little clump. And this is restoring doors. Now it's only good enough for small holes, it's not good enough for, you know, if you've got a hole in a door you can't use this, but the little nail holes, it's absolutely perfect. And because the sawdust came off the door, it's the same colour as the wood. So there's no little dots you see. So what we do, I've got a screwdriver and flat point screwdriver and a scraper. That's all I'm going to use. And my fingers, of course, because this is actually delicate work. So let's get some filler. I'm just going to fill this bodgy keyhole. Now, there's nothing wrong with a keyhole shape in an old door, so what I do is fill it so it's proud, and I let it sit proud. I don't want too much on, I want to let it sit proud. Fill in all the little bumps. And what we can do is we can get a quichon, or is it called a quichon? Gutchen. Alex, what's it called? I can't remember. Anyway, it's called one of them. And a brass one, and you can put it straight on top of there, so it even hides it even more. So that is using wood filler. Now I'm just dabbing it so that one, it evens out a little bit, that it's dead flat. Plus, I've got little ridges in it, so the sander, which is the DA, which is this thing, that's a 40 grit paper, and that will catch on the ridges, so it'll take it off quicker and more evenly if I've got little lines in it, as little keys. So now I've got a nice flat surface, and that's the same colour as the thing. And I've got two holes up here, so I'm going to put two holes in there. Now this one, these are more delicate, so I'm using my finger for these. I'm not too worried about them having as been accurate as that, because I can just do that with a sander. I'll pick it up anyway. So what I've done here, let's see if there's any more. I've got one nail hole here, so I'll fill that. So that holds the actual, these hold the piece on, which you don't see after 100 years. You don't see them because they're covered in paint, like 20 layers of paint, but they are there because these architrave things are nailed on. So what I'm doing now is I'm just looking around the door so you don't see any holes. I've got one nail up. I'll just fill these holes up. It's more to get the colour. I'm not too bothered about a little bump in the door. It's more to get the colour right. And so overall, we'll have a door that's right. So I'm going to take all of that out because I don't like that filler in there. That's wood filler or something. I'm going to take that out. I've done the back. Yeah, I've done the back. So what I've done is look for all of the holes in the door. I'll take this off with the sander. I've done the front, I haven't done the back yet, so I'll show you the front. So I've done the front, and there was drip lines. There's still one there. I've got to take that out a little bit. There was drip lines down here, drip lines there. And this is the varnish when someone's varnished the door in the past, I don't know, 50 years. I might leave that in. That's character. That's gorgeous. That. So you wouldn't fill that because it's part of the wood grain. It's where the tree grew. So this came from quite a big tree because you can see the lines are quite far apart. So that's an old tree. So I'm going to leave that there. So that's part of the tree. So there's no point filling. That's character, but these aren't. Nail holes aren't character. Now what I do with this is I'd get an arbor, drill that out, and drill it out to the right size, right through the door. And then what we do is we get another piece of wood, and we put it into them. We use a Japanese, it's a Japanese pull saw. It's a straight saw with a straight handle on, and we just saw the piece of wood level with the door, and that leaves the circle in there. Now, it won't be the same colour, it'll be just a different piece of wood, but you don't try and disguise it. You make it obvious it's a different piece of wood. And that gives it more character because someone knows it's had a handle on there in a different, at some point in the future, but now we've got these ones on. So there's nothing wrong with having character in the wood, as long as it's wood. This stuff looks absolutely, I mean, this is horrible, isn't it? So restorers, what they do, this has been dipped and stripped, so this is the naked wood, and this is a pine door, it's discoloured over the years, and it's been chemically stripped, so it's lost all its colour in it, all its pine colour. But when you put dark wax on this, that will look like an old boy's whiskey drinking library room door. It'll look fantastic, really. So that's the door, that's the filler. Cheap as chips, it's using the stuff you've already got in your bag probably. Mine is Mark, speak to you soon.